What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You're dead meat! Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Welcome to the Dead Meat Podcast, an extension of the YouTube channel Dead Meat. I'm James.
I'm Chelsea, and we're engaged, and we like to get scared together. Last week, we had a very educational, thoughtful episode about film remakes. I actually got a very kind email from the author of the main source that I used, Konstantin Barabas. He's a professor, and he said that we did a really good job, and I was really touched.
That's great.
Yeah, so cite your sources. You might, it's the right thing to do, and you'll maybe get a new pen pal. That's very exciting. But no, we're gonna go right back to being just stupid as fuck this week. I wanted to pick a real dumb one. Because that's kind of my favorite thing to do, honestly.
Yeah.
And I picked Anaconda because I haven't seen this in over 10 years. And, oh boy, it was better than I remembered it being.
Anaconda, which I saw a couple of years ago when my patrons and I did a live stream where we watched some movies. This was one of them. And Anaconda is what I want from a shitty sci-fi movie.
Yes, exactly.
You know, I've seen a lot of sci-fi movies, Sharknado included, where they're supposed to be so bad it's good, fun times, but really I'm just bored and I can tell that they're trying to be bad and that makes it less fun for me and I just don't have a good time. But Anaconda is actually so bad that it's entertaining.
Yeah, this one, the joke doesn't wear off within the first 10 minutes.
The joke being Jon Voight.
Well, yeah, Jon Voight, but just in general, the fact that it's a crazy snake movie.
Yeah, and it's not really trying to be funny.
In universe, it takes itself seriously, which I think is the key to making a successful so bad that it's good. When something really believes in itself.
Yeah, because it's kind of got a campy tone.
It does.
A little bit.
There's camp, but it also... It balances that really well. And I think I would maybe even be a little iffy on the camp aspect if you don't have the shot at the end of Jon Voight winking.
Oh my God.
Which is so funny. I think that's when it is really made clear that this movie's aware of what it is.
Well,
it's a monster flick. It's a creature feature.
The other thing that's great about it is that during the mid to late 2000s, because I'm thinking of like near the end of when I was in college, so I guess early 2010s, I would watch a sci-fi horror movie and it would be like, I don't know, Sharktopus or some shit like that, and you watch it hoping to see a bunch of that and you never see the monster because they can't afford it. But in Anaconda, you're seeing this snake all over the goddamn place.
Oh, yeah?
And sometimes it's an animatronic and sometimes it's real weird CG, and I guess there's a second snake. Did you see that in the Wikipedia article?
What do you mean a second snake?
She shoots the one in the head.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end,
There's
it's
the
different...
boss snake.
The boss
The final
snake, which
boss
I didn't
snake.
realize
Yeah.
while watching, because for some reason, this fucking Blu-ray we have for a 1997 movie, it's not like a 1970 weird B movie, didn't have subtitles.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Which is frustrating when you have multiple
Jon
characters with ridiculous accents.
Yeah, and Jonathan Hyde acting like he's fucking Nigel
Yeah,
Thornberry.
he is very Nigel Thornberry. There's a giant snake. Like, you can't understand anything he fucking says.
Yeah, that's the thing about this cast is it is a wonderful collection of
It's
90s
so
talent.
good.
You got J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, around 27, 28 years old. Don't know how much acting she had done before this.
Nominated for a Saturn Award
Yeah.
for this, for Best Actress. She'd already been in, I think, Selena at this point.
Oh, yeah, where she's good.
Oh, yeah,
Selena, I
she's
feel, is
great.
like, what, 95,
Jennifer
maybe,
Lopez
94?
is a good actress. Like, Out
She
of Sight is great.
generally. I feel like...
Have you seen Out of Sight?
No, but I feel like this isn't her best step forward, her best foot forward.
No, but it's,
Yeah.
it's a good movie.
Ice Cube is here,
Yeah.
and literally his first line is,
Yeah, well, today's a good day.
so
Get it?
that's great.
How recent would that song have been?
That would have been early 90s, so I don't know, a few years.
Oh, man. It's
or
good.
Yeah, that
Remember
would have
we met
been
his
early
son
90s.
and we didn't realize it was his son until like way later.
Oh yeah, because he's in.
He's in Just Mercy, and
Yes.
he's really good in that.
Mhm.
But we met him at a screening of it, and he was like, "Hey, thanks for coming in my movie." And we thought for some reason we didn't realize it was O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
We just saw like all these young upstart actors promoting his movies. Making
Oh, I hope he makes it.
he's so sweet. Yeah, oh yeah, well, let's get a picture. Yeah, it was Ice Cube's kid. He was
Yeah.
really nice.
We got John Voight in his mid to late 50s here. That guy's still kicking at 81 today.
Dude, yeah, he shops at our grocery
He
store.
does. You saw him a couple
I
years
saw,
ago.
yeah. Mhm.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Definitely the highlight of this movie
God, he's so good.
with his Tommy Wiseau voice.
It is
Before The Room ever existed.
Yeah. I would. I don't know what this accent's supposed to be.
It's maybe better I do it. This river can kill you in 1,000 ways.
Because I think his name, because he's Paul Cerrone, which to me sounds French.
He says he's from Paraguay.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. So I guess that's what he thinks of and maybe it is. Who knows? It just sounds
It's so ambiguous.
it's
So,
an
like,
ambiguous
we're going to
accent.
be doing the accent, and at some point, it's going to sound vaguely offensive. And I apologize in advance, because it is truly just ambiguous.
It's nothing, man.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hyde, we mentioned, is being a very British person here. He was in Titanic and told them to push the boat faster. So he was a bad guy in that movie, playing the real life, what's his name? J. Bruce Ismay, who was...
Is he the one who puts in the call for the iceberg?
What?
What does he do? I used to know my Titanic shit.
No. This dude was the businessman who's chairman of the White Star Line of the company that owned it. And it was like, push it faster. We need. And then he survives the ship sinking. And in real life, I mean, back then, if you survive a tragedy, you're a piece of shit because you didn't die like all those other manly men on board. And so for the chairman of the White Star Line to survive it,
he was like haunted by it because like he didn't go down with the.
I don't know how haunted he was personally, but everyone hated him for it.
Oh,
yeah, he was
interesting.
one of those.
That's interesting.
But this guy, Jonathan Hyde,
And
played
isn't
that
he
guy.
also? He's the dad in Jumanji, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy who like he's the dad and also the
Like, is he a
hunter.
hunter?
He's a poacher in that movie.
Carrie Wooher is in here. I know her name. I'm looking at her resume. I don't really know her from anything.
Yeah.
I know her name.
I first thought she was what's her face from not Billy Madison.
Happy Gilmore.
You
You thought she was 90s Julie Bowen.
Yes.
Who does not look like present day Julie Bowen.
Not at all.
Because the haircut, and then I think she had some work.
Everyone
but-
looked weird in the 90s.
Yeah. Danny Trejo in a small role in the beginning.
As Poacher.
As
I don't even
Poacher.
think he has a name.
Eric Stoltz, who just lays there most of this movie,
Yeah,
and you'll forget that he's in it.
He's in Mask.
Yeah, he is Mask.
He's
Rocky.
looking completely different. In that
And
movie.
he is in Pulp Fiction. He's the guy who they bring over Uma Thurman after she's ODing to his house.
and they stick the syringe.
Don't bring he plunges the syringe. And then finally, to round out this cast, you have it's Owen Wilson.
It's Lightning McQueen in the jungle. I fucking love Owen Wilson, unironically.
Yeah,
Like, follow him to the end of the earth. I love him. I love all the Wilsons. All two of them.
Yeah.
Just love those boys. All right, Anaconda, let's fucking go. I think this one's worth just doing a recap of because every step of this is insane.
Sure.
Like every choice made in this movie is just really worth examining.
Yeah, it starts with just a crawl of information in text telling us about this anaconda that can grow up to 40 feet.
Yes.
And it has such a bloodlust.
It's such a nasty asshole. It
It'll eat
barfs
people
you up.
and barf you up just to eat more.
Yes.
And at first I was like, wait, it eats the guy that had just barfed up? No, it's going to eat a fresh victim.
Which, okay. I'm just thinking of evolution. Like that creature is a dumb. It's a like
Yeah,
how
that's
did
a pretty
that
dumb thing, dude.
happen?
Yeah, why are you giving up this food source that you need to survive?
Yeah. Although maybe it's like it evolved so far. It's like humans where it's been able to develop a sense of boredom or a sense of
Yeah.
like it now it's capable of being sadistic. I don't know. But apparently also tribes in the Amazon worship these things as gods. And
That's right.
Interesting to note that this movie, directed by Luis Loza, who is from Peru, so
Might be Yosa because it's got the two
Yosa.
L's.
Oh, the two L's.
I don't know if that applies
It's
in a name.
which is, I it's a nice surprise that it's not just some random white dude making the movie about the Amazon.
Sure.
It's better than nothing.
I guess he is South American.
Yeah, exactly.
Closer to the... And they did shoot in Brazil, at least
Yes,
partially?
yeah.
Okay.
And I think they shot some of it in the Los Angeles Arboretum.
That's, that they call that the Brazil of the West.
Yeah. It opens with this music, and all I could think of was, I don't know if they still have these in shopping malls, but do you remember those, you go into like a Brookstone or something where they have those CD samplers, and you press the buttons, you can listen to.
Oh, yeah.
It's like African beats, or like relaxing rivers, and it has like a pan flute. That's what this music sounds like. It's like Celtic Woman samplers or something. And we see this little ship, not even a ship, that makes it sound very big. It's a kind of river.
It's a riverboat.
Riverboat, yeah.
It's Danny Trejo's house.
Yeah.
He's scared of this thing that's trying to punch up through the floorboards.
Yeah.
And it has such a weird, specific level of strength that it is hitting the underside of his floorboards and knocking the nails out of the floorboards, like just the nails.
They're like bullets.
Yeah, they're coming out, which doesn't make any fucking
It's
sense
crazy.
to me.
This snake is so smart. It knows how to put a finesse on all the shit that it's doing. Like,
Yeah.
I could just punch up a hole through this guy's house, which, by the way, if, Danny Trejo, I'm assuming, knows better. He has a newspaper cutout of these poachers holding this giant snake, and he knows that the anaconda is real. Why would you build your houseboat so that it's level with although I guess the snake can kind of like shoot itself up out of the water.
Yeah, this snake can
Don't
do a
live on
lot.
a houseboat, man.
Yeah. But he climbs a mast to get away from it, and then when it looks like it's going to get him anyway, he takes out a gun and he
fucking
kills himself.
because of the snake. God.
Yep, he's that afraid of the snake.
Scared of. I mean, to be fair, if I'm gonna die, I'd rather just shoot myself instead of getting, hugged to death by a anaconda. I'm sure John Voight would disagree. The way he describes being murdered by this snake is like almost sensual. He really likes the idea of it.
So yeah, we're in Brazil in the Amazon.
Yeah, it's a wrap on Danny Trejo.
Yep, that's it. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you,
That's
Danny.
Oh, by the way, clean shaven.
It's very
I was
weird.
like, is that Danny
It's
Trejo?
weird, yeah.
He's not looking as craggly as usual.
Yep, that's a wrap on him. He goes back to LA to open his donut shop. Those are good donuts.
Yeah.
So now we cut to this hotel in the Amazon where J-Lo is staying. She's a director, and they're filming a documentary about tribes.
And she is not wearing a bra in this first
in
scene
her-
or in other scenes, but
yeah.
this first one specifically, she stands up in front of the camera,
yeah.
close up, and she's wearing a see-through shirt,
Nice.
and that was the shot.
In her hotel room that I wrote looks like the Enchanted Tiki Room bathrooms, the ones at Disneyland.
Those are good bathrooms.
No one's going to Disneyland right now, but yeah, this
in
is
a couple of years when we're allowed back.
If someone's actually, if you're like a Disney fan and go to the parks all the time, you're like, man, this is such a noob tip. Like everyone knows this. But if you ever go to Disneyland, there's these bathrooms right next to the entrance of the Enchanted Tiki Room that no one knows are
They're
there.
private bathrooms.
Are
is
they
the
really?
thing, right? It's one person at a time. So if you got some bubble guts
yeah.
going on, get
But they're-
elbow up in there, man.
They're really nice bathrooms, and there's usually not a line.
Mm-hmm.
So then we've got who comes in. His name's Kale.
His name's Cal. That's about as interesting as he is. That's our Eric Stoltz, who's like her love interest, kind of.
Yeah.
And he's also a professor.
Their relationship is very. It reminded me of Creature from the Black Lagoon, like Julie Adams and the guy, the scientist guy.
It's
Just like
nominally romantic, but it doesn't. You don't really.
Yeah,
feel
that's
it.
not the point. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And then Ice Cube is there as her. I don't know if he's the cameraman.
He's the cameraman, yeah.
Who's the production manager? I wrote down production manager.
is the other lady.
Carrie
Denise.
Wooher, Denise.
Yeah,
okay.
baby
I'm probably
bird.
saying that wrong. Yeah, little baby
Little
bird.
baby bird.
And then her boyfriend, Carrie Wooher's boyfriend, is Owen Wilson, who is what, fucking PA or some shit.
I think he's sound.
Oh, he's sound. Oh yeah, because they go out and get wild sound.
Yeah.
They don't say wild sound. They say we're gonna go get
think
wild
they said
sound.
wild sound.
No, but the emphasis. They don't say we're gonna go get some wild sound. Listen.
Is this like in inside baseball? Where it's like we're getting some wild sound.
It just sounds as though they had never heard that term before.
I see, okay.
Because they go and say like if we were going to say it, what would you say if we were about to record it?
What? I'm going to get some wild sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like gotta get some wild sound.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to go record some wild sound. It's
Oh,
like a weird
wow,
emphasis.
what is that?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I see what
And for anyone who's like, what the fuck are they talking? Wild sound is, for them, it's going to get jungle noises so that they can play it in the background.
Yeah, if we were doing wild sound, if let's say we go to a horror convention, okay, let's go get some wild sound. We literally just hit record and walk around the convention.
and get like the screaming and the people talking and shit like that. So that's wild
with
sound.
like this fucking satellite dish thing that he has to record.
Get some good wild sound.
Yeah, so there's this little film documentary crew, kind of like National Geographic maybe. Although I was laughing at the idea of them, like, what if they're just going down there to film Cannibal Holocaust?
Yeah. Well, they get Jonathan Hyde is, I guess they're on-screen
He's the
talent.
host. He's the David Attenborough kind of. He's the British nature.
Yeah.
Documentary
The stuffy
guy.
British guy. And then they have a fucking boat pilot named Mateo, who kind of looks like Jock and Hagar. A little bit.
Interesting. Okay.
The actor's not really in too much else.
He gave me the vibes also of the guy who, I forget the actor's name, and also R.I.P. I think he just passed away. He was the guy who, in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where they leave the Cameron's dad's car in the parking garage with the 2 parking attendants.
Oh, yeah,
he
and he
looks
like
like
drives. Yeah. You're right.
They're like taking that car off, jumps and shit. Yeah, that's
What's
who
the Star Wars theme playing?
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. I also love, too, that the David Attenborough character has these giant Louis Vuitton suitcases. Those would be so expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's also always playing golf on the boat.
Yes, he's
just,
very...
like stereotypically stuffy.
It's him and Ice Cube
Yeah, they go back and forth.
exist just to have this like white people, black people pitter patter the entire movie, and it's very funny.
Yeah, they're making a documentary about the Shama tribe.
Shama, yeah.
Which I don't think is real, but
I don't think it's real
one of those
either.
isolated tribes that they're going to go look for and, probably contaminate with diseases.
I'm curious if the Shama
It
tribe
did not have a link in the in the
It's probably
Wikipedia,
made
so
up
it's probably
one.
not real. Which is probably for the better to have it just be a fake tribe.
Yeah, especially if you're like, they worship snakes.
That we end up shooting in the head.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they set out and they're doing their little sailing.
Jungle cruise, yeah.
Real nice.
A lot of this looks green screen to me, and I'm not sure if it is because they filmed a lot of this on location.
I didn't
but
catch any
some
green
parts
screen
of it
looking
look
things.
fake.
It might just be the lighting. That
It
happens
might
sometimes.
just be the 90s. Of it all.
That just 90s looked green screen.
Yeah. Then they go down the river and oops, what do you know? There's they found John Voight. A rare John
Ice
Voight
Cube literally has a
appeared.
line.
Check it out. There's a dude on the boat over there.
There's a dude on a boat over there.
Yeah, and it's John Voight just conveniently. He's stranded there. And it's like, I love the idea of this movie as a choose your own adventure because it's like you come upon a John Voight in the river, W-I-D, and say they decide to pick him up, which I guess you would.
Yeah.
You have to become an asshole to not. John Voight apparently, he says he's a priest. Did I?
Something about him being a priest.
He's a priest. I don't think that ever comes up again.
Never.
It's just some weird, we get some shading, I guess, to his character, but also he catches snakes for collectors.
breakfast.
For breakfast?
Oh, he also catches them for breakfast.
Oh, for breakfast.
Out of
Okay.
the river, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he's calling little baby birds.
And this is the part where I just wrote down, what the fuck is anyone's? I could not understand because you have John Voight going back and forth with the host who is Nigel Thornberry. So it's like, no, you're a snake. Oh, yeah, the Amazon, the snake. Oh, I know the.
I can show you exactly where I saw the Shama.
So slurs every other river rat after 5 whiskeys in any bar in Manaus. Come on, lovey.
Yeah, it's that same night. There's a shot of Owen Wilson, Ice Cube, smoking cigars, listening to Ziggy Marley, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, like I just want to be there, like catching malaria with them in the jungle, listening to Ziggy Marley.
Well, they're doing that. We're getting snake POV shots
Yes.
of the Anaconda murdering a panther.
Yeah, 'cause it's nighttime.
That looks so fake. It looks like it's the cat in Scary Movie 2 that beats up Cindy.
Oh my god.
I don't know if it's the second one in a Scary Movie, but this panther just looks like a stuffed fucking panther getting.
There is a Rainforest Cafe looking fight between this panther and the snake.
And the
bad.
snake is making all these noises and is apparently voiced by Frank Welker.
Frank Welker, everybody. Yeah.
Yep.
He voices everything. Look it up. He's come up on the podcast many a time. If there's an animal like if you have like an animal in your movie that is like focal point of a scene and it's the 90s, Frank Welker probably voiced it.
Probably.
Yeah, it's also this scene, in addition to the fucking jaguar animatronic and snake animatronic, there's all these fireflies, which
yeah,
I think when you're watching this movie, maybe even in a theater in the 90s, you can't tell, but they're like the fireflies on Pirates of the Caribbean, where they're just like wires where the ends of them light up and they kind of move around. And you can tell on the Blu-ray that they're just these like theme. I bet they got them from the same fucking supplier.
I love when they're trying to shoot a little scene with Jonathan Hyde doing a narration, and then John Voight just walks in front of the camera.
Oh no, we're done. Yeah, he fucking walks in and like just.
I know, a
bababoo. Like he just.
A Shirashama idol, although this is the subject of some dispute.
I know what I know. You can accept it or reject it. Leave me at the next village.
Everyone is like already fed up with his shit. He's going back and forth with Ice Cube, and they're like, "You're so weird. No, you're so weird. I trap a snake, so you find trap." Like it's just this. I don't know what the vibe is not good on this boat.
That's why Owen Wilson and his lady decide to go get their wild sound.
Wild sound.
And they go out to fucking make out in the nasty, moist jungle.
I think it's so funny that this whole movie, Owen Wilson is like not super interested in her, I don't think.
No, they go back and they're just not timed right. Because earlier he's like,
yeah.
doesn't the jungle make you really
Doesn't
horny?
it make you
Wow.
horny? Oh, I get so horny.
And then
in
later
the
she's
jungle.
like, oh, I'm horny. And he's like, but I'm getting this wild
I'm getting
sound.
this wild sound.
Yeah, it sounds so
It was
good.
never meant to be.
Yeah.
I don't think, even if they made it out of this alive, which they don't.
They don't.
Spoilers.
I mean, they get chased by a boar right now,
Yeah.
but John Voight saves them with a fucking sniper
I'm
rifle.
going to guess they didn't get any of that wild sound. Although
No,
it's
they got
great
that
that
wild
they're like,
boar.
all right, let's go get some sound. And then she won't shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. He's like walking through recording, and she's like, wow. This is amazing.
This sounds amazing.
This is so good. It's like, yeah, I know. I'm trying to fucking record it.
Yeah, but this sounds so
No, we can't
good.
use that because you just talked in it. I need like a good 10-second stretch with you shutting the fuck up.
Okay, I'm just pointing out, like, if you record this
Yeah,
right now.
I know, but we need you to shut the fuck up.
Doesn't the rainforest make you horny? By the way, absolutely not. The rainforest is the last place on this planet I would
It
want to have
sounds
sex
like a
with
good
someone.
place to get a VD.
Yeah, they're talking about bugs that can swim up your penis in the water.
That's a threat.
And I just, the Amazon, I'm happy it exists. I've given the Amazon money because it should exist.
The Amazon really appreciate it.
The Amazon.
Did you tell the Amazon not to spend it all in one place?
Yeah, exactly. The Amazon is like, it's a friend I never see, and I'm glad, I just want it to be around. But like, I'd never want to go there. It's a petri dish of just which is why it's cool, but from like afar. I don't understand the appeal of visiting the Amazon. I think I just don't like bugs.
I don't think you like nature.
I don't really like nature.
Yeah.
I think it's telling that the only camping trips I've really enjoyed were in the desert where there's no anything. There's just nothing.
So is this when the boat gets stuck? Because there's some shit in the rudder?
Yeah, it's all tangled up, and
so
this
Professor
whole...
Kale has to go down there to unloosen it. And while he's down there, J-Lo's putting her hair up, and fucking John Voight is staring at her with the weirdest face
That's when
I've
I
ever
drew a little
seen.
picture of him.
Oh,
in
you
my
did draw a
notes.
little picture of it. He's like,
Yeah, he's creeping. He's creeping.
Yeah, it's real creepy.
He's got a snake face. He looks like a snake.
Well, when you spend that much time around him.
He looks like he could be Randy Orton's dad. In this, they have snake
Cowboy Bob Orton?
features. Yeah.
Also professional wrestler?
He's like if Randy Orton would be, I don't know how well you know Peanuts comics. So Randy Orton would be Snoopy, and then John Voight in this is like Snoopy's cousin that lives in the desert. Do you know who I'm talking? I forget what his name is.
No, I don't know my Snoopy lore well enough to make comparisons to
He's-
WWE wrestlers.
Snoopy has this cousin that lives in the desert. Someone will think that's funny.
Who's Woodstock? Daniel Bryan?
Oh, that's adorable. Yes. Hey, I want to talk about our sponsor this week, Keeps. If you're, worried about your hair maybe starting to look like John Voight's hair, it's a little, it's a little thin on top. We got the ponytail though, which is cool. But maybe you don't want to get to that point if you're starting to experience male pattern baldness. Keeps offers you hair loss prevention medication at home. I think hair loss medication, I don't know. I mean, it's something that I know you've tried, but can it seem overwhelming, looking for? I've always felt like it seemed like it's something that fancy, it's Hollywood people do.
Yeah, and I think it's something that a lot of guys either don't want to think of because they might not want to confront it, or they think maybe I'll handle it down the line. But, 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. That's not as old as you think. Says the guy who's inching ever closer to it.
Yeah, and I think hair loss, it's better if you act early too. It's easier to prevent it than it is to
than to get it back.
Yeah. But with Keeps, you can get treated right at home. You can talk to a doctor online and get hair loss medication delivered right to you. You can get your medication every 3 months, so you don't have to worry about going to the pharmacy and stuff, which is good for now when we can't really. I mean, you can still go to the pharmacy, but
it's more convenient
if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
And they offer generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products out there. So this isn't like weird snake oil.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're on theme. So if you want to try Keeps, you can go to keeps.com/deadmeat to get your first month of treatment for free. And that's Keeps, KEEPS.com/deadmeat. Our other sponsor this week is Shudder. Friend of the channel, Shudder.
Yeah.
The Netflix of horror, I would say, is a good description of them. Shudder came out a few years ago, right?
It came out a while ago.
Yeah, and they've cultivated such a neat community of horror fans. All their content is so there's stuff there that a lot of stuff I've never heard of. Browsing Shudder is amazing. It feels it's as close as you can get right now to going to a video
for sure. And I remember, lots of streaming services come out, but Shudder has proven that they've proven
it has
their
a
worth.
Reason that to exist.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And they've proven themselves to be of quality. They're constantly improving, because I remember for a little while there weren't captions on a lot of their movies, and they listened to that feedback, and now there are captions on
they're great.
everything I watch.
I love they're such a great service. They listen to people, which is very, very cool.
They're easy to communicate with. They have their own subreddit with a representative there that you can talk to. They're great, and it's so cheap. It's only $5.99 a month or $56.99 a year. They've got lots of movies that I cover on the Kill Count, like The Mutilator and Bloody Birthday. They've got movies that we do commentary tracks for on Patreon.
Yes, yeah. If you're a Patreon subscriber, we watch a ton of Shudder movies. So there you go. And also they have The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, which is a great one. They, they'll play movies, and the entire horror community on Twitter watches it together, and we all tweet with each other.
Yeah, it's like a party.
I know someone who is a regular on Twitter and is always watching Joe Bob with Everyone's Barbara Crampton is always tweeting. I think Felissa will always be tweeting. So it's a great way to just hang out with, your horror friends and horror stars, and we're all just hanging out together watching movies. And recently, Joe Bob Briggs gave someone a very special award on the show.
I got a silver bolo tie.
James got a silver bolo for his achievements in horror, which is
so crazy.
Yeah.
I will get an actual silver bolo tie.
Oh my God, that was
in the mail.
Crazy.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, the freak out we had when we realized what was happening.
I'm so glad I was streaming when it happened.
Yeah, my phone started blowing up and I was very confused. So if you want to try Shudder for 30 days free, go to shudder.com and use promo code DEADMEAT30. So that's Shudder, SHUDDER.com. Promo code DEADMEAT30.
You can watch so many movies in 30 days on Shudder, so highly recommended.
Kale is fixing the rudder, and it just makes me or propeller?
Yeah.
The spinny part of the boat that makes it go forward.
And he's scuba diving to get down there.
And it just makes, because I know,
there's like a rope. It's tied up in a rope.
Yeah, and I know the crew would be smart enough to not have, they'd have that turned off, so when he fixes it, it doesn't spin around and cut his head off. But that's all I could think of the whole time. It's like getting something out of the disposal, even though I know I've turned it off. I still think about getting out the thing that's stuck, and then my hand just getting all chewed up.
Yeah.
It's so scary. But while he's down there, I didn't quite catch how this.
No, he just starts freaking out.
Oh,
Because,
okay. I see.
Turns out there's a wasp.
There's
like
a giant bug
in his gear,
mask.
and
yeah.
it stung him and closed his throat, and taken this actor out of the fucking movie for the rest of it.
Yeah, so they realize he's drowning. They go grab him, and luckily John Voight is there to give him. It's not a tracheotomy.
It is not a tracheotomy.
I was looking it up.
The
It's not a
Wikipedia
tracheotomy.
revealed. Yeah, it is a different emergency procedure. A cricothyroid. That is not how you say that.
Yeah, but basically what is this bug, since they find it in his mouth, but it stings him and makes his throat swell up, so he can't
So they
breathe.
just
So they
stab a little hole right in his little in his throat.
Yeah,
so he can breathe through it.
And and then John Voight what is this? He pulls this bug. He's out of it. He's like, Sally, Grandpa, look, I found your $5. Oh, look, how weird. There's a bug here. All I could think was like, oh man, Buffalo Bill's in the water. He's Buffalo Bill's doing this. So yeah, Kale is out of the picture pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is, I kind of like that we have the main couple set up. And maybe you could be misled to think J-Lo is going to be sharing this movie with her male co-star.
No, J-Lo's not sharing the fucking movie with Eric Stoltz.
But I'm saying it just traditionally, if I'm, watching this movie and there's this guy and girl, and okay, cool, maybe third act she's going it alone, but I like that he's out of there immediately. It's nice, because then we get, like, it's J-Lo's movie.
Yeah, no, it's John Voight's movie. Let's be clear.
Yeah, okay,
this movie is not entertaining
John Voight is,
without John Voight's performance.
As the Anaconda does, John Voight is wrapping his body all around this film and just squeezing the life out of it.
Yes.
Making its bones pop.
So now they decide this movie's fucked. We need to get him to a hospital.
The movie they are filming and just the plot of this movie that we are watching. So everything's fucked. Yeah, they gotta get killed in the hospital.
But in a faster way than just going back the way they came, after all, with that current, John Voight's got a shortcut.
It is like
that he tried to take them on earlier, but hey, this time it'll be
great. It'll be good.
It's exactly what we want.
It's close. I don't know. I will say, to this movie's credit, like, and this is part of what makes it work for me as a so bad it's good. I'm never thinking during this, oh my God, everyone is being stupid as fuck this entire time, because there really isn't a situation where they don't pick up John Voight. Like we said, you'd be an asshole if you were like, sorry, guy, bye. Have fun in the fucking Amazon.
And they don't trust him.
And
they
don't trust him.
They're like, this guy's fucking weird.
He's a weirdo. Like, no one, but like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Small boat, and you can't kick, So I think John Voight, like, the way that he's written into the movie and the series of events that lead to everything just getting fucked is done well.
Yeah,
there's no way to write yourself out of it, which is cool.
And it moves at a clip. It's 89 minutes, and it's just like,
it's nice and quick.
There's always something happening and something changing. So
and it's cool that, you got John Voight being like, oh, we can go my secret route and that'll take us to the hospital. And it's like, yeah, fucking right, but also the characters don't have any other choice. It's all done very well.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
his route ends up having a little barrier they have to try to get through. It's a wooden.
Oh, I didn't know this was here.
This dam.
Looky, what do we have here?
They just blow that shit up with dynamite that he has.
Yes, they have. He has a bag of dynamite.
Thankfully, he just happens to have this bag of dynamite.
They blow this wall up.
It's a snake explosion.
It rains snakes. It's amazing.
Like, so what? Was that wall just filled with snakes then?
I guess. I'm not 100%
because it blows up and there are snakes.
There's snakes everywhere.
All different kinds, all different sizes, hanging from the fucking set.
Yeah.
Like, they're like batting them away.
It's like Christmas. It's John Voight. It's like a kid running outside and it's snowing, but it's John Voight and there's snakes everywhere, and he's like, oh, my baby.
No, he's like, go back home.
Go back home to your mommy.
Toss them into the river.
Like, he's loving it.
He's having a good time.
Yes.
But that explosion also makes them lose all their fuel, their boat fuel.
That's right. It rocks. Yeah, it rocks the boat, and all their barrels fall off.
They just totally pollute that Amazon. It's great. It's funny, though, because then they keep continuing on their way, and there's like an overhead shot of them going down this river, and up ahead, there's like this weird
little
it's like a
mass.
bank. Yeah, it's like a landmass that covers the whole rate. And I'm like, how are they going to get past that?
I think what it is, because we see some stuff like this later, I think it's just a big, giant, like, section of floating grass. Because I remember there's a shot where there's all this, like, wavy looking grass.
That's
and
right.
we were
and
like,
that's
what
a
the
weird
fuck?
shot.
It's very disorienting, but I think it's just kind of that, where it's just, like, floating
Okay.
water grass.
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They come across Danny Trejo's boat.
Yes, and they think, okay, maybe there's some fuel in here.
I know. Yeah, there you go. They lost all their fuel. Cool. That's a motivation for all the shit that they're doing the rest of the movie. They're always looking for fuel.
Yeah, so they sail past this wreck. All right, Mateo and John Voight and Ice Cube are gonna go and look for fuel. And this is when we realize that, I mean, we know John Voight is not up to any
He's
good
not on
here.
the up and up.
But we see that newspaper clipping from the beginning, and it's John Voight and Mateo and some other random.
Oh, and Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo's the third guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
They're the three amigos.
Got it. That all makes sense. It's so, yeah, Mateo's been in on this the entire time.
It was all a setup.
I know. All the betrayal. It hurts.
The Mateo betrayal.
And Ice Cube sees them talking to it. I think he maybe realizes something's not quite right here. Mateo is maybe not on the up and up because he sees them kind of talking to each other, and the body language is like, they're a little too familiar, I think. So they get a box from this boat.
What is in that box? I forget.
It's
Was it weapons?
snakeskin.
Oh, snakeskin. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a long ass snakeskin.
I think that's what it was.
But yeah, while Ice Cube and Voight are carrying that back, Mateo is behind and he gets caught by that snake.
Yeah, he gets tripped up. He gets got. I think it's at our first snake death.
Yeah, because Danny Trejo shot himself.
Yeah, so
it like wraps around his body and then grabs his head and then twists it backwards.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
The snake deaths are very silly
They're fun.
it's a lot of the CGI snake.
Yeah, this snake, by the way, changes size. Constantly. It's
size
like
is
what?
Not consistent.
It is not consistent.
The way the snake behaves too. This thing's like a fucking Pokemon. It's like an Ekans. It's like a big cartoon, and the way that it twirls people up just feels very like Anaconda, use blah blah, and then it does the spinning.
Bind.
Yeah, something like that.
No, it would be Anaconda.
Yeah, what's
Anaconda? Anaconda.
Dude, John Voight would be a great Pokemon trainer. Could have just all the snake Pokemon.
Yeah, that'd be great. That should be another
You
gym.
get to his gym by taking a swamp boat with like the fan on the back.
Yeah.
Ice Cube realizes, wait, Mateo's missing, and he lets the boat know, and everyone's like, oh, fuck, we should go back for Mateo. And then John Voight's like, no, he's dead. Maybe some other time.
Yeah.
Then he shows them the snake skin that they have in the box, and he explains, like,
the snake will hold you tighter than your true love.
and your true love. Also, money, 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 money. Help me catch the snake.
And you get the privilege of hearing your bones break before the power of the embrace causes your veins to explode.
He also shoots a monkey for bait.
Yeah.
Just snipes a fucking monkey
like
out
just
the trees.
headshots this fucking monkey.
And then he corrupts Owen Wilson.
Yeah. And right here I have written down that the real monster in this film is man.
Yeah.
Money has overtaken all of Owen Wilson's.
This Owen Wilson's fucking heel turn is so abrupt and stupid
it's
to me.
hilarious.
Because like before this, he's just like this regular sound guy. He's got his girlfriend. He's kind of goofy. And then he has one conversation with John Voight. And all of a sudden, he's fine when John Voight shoots a gun at Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And then like John Voight like shoots a warning shot at Ice Cube. And Owen Wilson's like, I don't think so. Like he does the talking.
I don't think so. Which is hilarious. It just someone else firing a gun at Ice Cube and Owen Wilson being like, yeah, take that, bitch. Like
he's like he becomes so evil
such a
so
villain.
Fast that it's like what?
I do wish we maybe had, instead of like a scene of those two trying to fuck in the woods, if maybe we get a bit of like, are they younger?
Or maybe it's like, oh man, I
can't
all
afford
this
to
money.
get married or something.
Something like that.
Something.
But no, it's just like this abrupt,
he's just like,
villainous
oh
turn.
yeah, all about the Benjamin. Like
Enough to where he's carrying a gun and pointing it at his former friends, including his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's like holding
We're
his girlfriend
catching this
captive.
snake, damn it. Yeah, he wants to fucking catch this snake.
Yeah, so it's mutiny has happened now.
Yes.
John Voight is in charge with Gary the
Now
Owen
we're
Wilson.
not making a movie. We are catching an anaconda. It's John Voight's boat now.
Yeah. They do hook that snake. on their little line.
Yes, they do.
And the snake spits that monkey out.
Yeah, this poor monkey. Like, there's a very good shot of the fake monkey. It's like this
This
nasty
wet
dead prop monkey, and it's one where I'm sure that showed up at some point on a prop auctions website. I browse those all the time.
Yep.
That's a prop I would be very proud to own. It's so weird. Just gross. It's so waterlogged. Yeah, I also wrote here, speaking of Owen Wilson, he's been impeached from his mayorship of Titty City.
Oh, yeah, he's no longer
the mayor.
visiting Titty City.
No more Titty City for Owen. The Anaconda, yeah, screaming like a fucking person at this part. And
We'll get shot with a trank,
Yeah.
but it gets Gary. Owen Wilson. It does grab him. And then they go to like shoot him some more, and John Voight is like Darth Vader and is like, it's no good to me dead.
That's right, yeah.
So he knocks the
J-Lo
gun away.
goes to save Owen by shooting the snake, and yeah.
So the snake gets Owen, and just in case you weren't sure if he was eaten or not, there's a shot of the snake swimming underwater and passes in front of the camera, and you see Owen Wilson's body inside the snake.
It's pretty good. It's
awesome.
so good.
It's so stupid.
I love right here too, after John Voight has let Owen Wilson be killed by the snake, because again, it's no good to me dead. He's throwing these flowers like so fucking carelessly in the way. He's like, R.I.P. Owen. Too bad, so sad. Like, let's go get the snake. And obviously Denise is mad. It's funny, I have so many quotes here from this, and I never remember what character actually said them, so I'm just assuming they're all John Voight. There's a devil inside everyone.
That could be anyone.
It could be anyone. I'm choosing to believe it's John Voight, who around here smacks this British dude so hard in the face.
Oh yeah, he turns him into his little like slave.
Yeah, he's like, you're my
servant now.
little bitch. Go get my stuff.
Get my bags, put them
Which
in
is great
captain
because that
quarters.
we do see him doing that in the beginning. The host of the show is an asshole and is like, he's treating the production manager Denise like a bellhop, and he's
all
being
comes
a dick.
back
It
around.
all, yeah. So it's
This
kind
movie's got
of
layers.
It's got it does.
So Ice Cube has this little stabby thing, but he fails to stab John Voight with it because he's trying to get back at him, which I believe they had a few opportunities that they kind of blew.
Yeah.
But now their new plan to wrest control back away from John Voight is for J-Lo to go visit him in the captain's
And seduce
cabin
him
and seduce him.
Be like, hey, I'm the director of this film. How about instead of what we were doing, we make a movie instead about you catching this snake? And looking
and also we'll
awesome.
make out.
Yeah, well,
And they
also-
start making out.
It's awful. I was like, are we gonna go there? I was like, do they kiss in this?
They
like,
do.
I'm like, is it gonna get interrupted? No, we get to see
they
John
kiss,
Voight
and then
J-Lo
Ice Cube
kiss.
comes in, and John Voight is like, "You think I'm stupid?" And he pulls a gun and puts it at Ice Cube's face, and then he kisses J-Lo again.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll take another," and throws her aside. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not dumb. I knew this was gonna happen." And then
the energy of, have you seen that fucking comic where it's like the guy who wins an Olympic medal and he opens this fucking champagne and spraying and he grabs the chick who gives him a medal and kisses her, and then it
the
zooms out
comic,
he won
yeah.
third place.
yeah.
That's exactly the energy of this entire scene
For sure.
before he gets hit over the head with a baseball.
So Jonathan
or a golf club.
Hyde comes in from behind and
Yeah.
knocks him out. So that was their plan all along. They literally say it worked. So the plan
Was for Ice Cube to maybe get shot.
maybe get shot in the face. Like there was, I'm shocked that John Voight didn't just shoot Ice Cube in the
Cube's
face.
hard, man. Like Ice Cube, I would believe like he would. Maybe the gun goes off, but Ice Cube can like stop the bullet with his mind
Sure.
and turn it around.
Their plan was to have that fake out with Ice Cube,
Yeah,
and
boom, got him.
Seriously, he could have gotten shot in the face.
Yeah. So now, oh man, John Voight. Not only is he unintelligible anyway, but now he's got a fucking head wound. It's like we're not like that's it. We're not gonna understand it for the rest of this movie.
Yeah, he's all tied up.
Yeah, and so they're sailing a bit. Like everything seems to have calmed down. The host Jonathan Hyde and Ice Cube are talking about stuff they miss, and Ice Cube misses
that's their
his
scene.
quote unquote cellular phone.
He does, yeah.
The 90s.
And he misses LA traffic. Sorry, dude.
Yeah,
There's
no, you
nothing you can do in this world to make you miss LA traffic. Not even fucking COVID-19 makes me miss LA traffic.
Yeah.
I will take another 2 months in quarantine than sit in LA traffic.
It does a number on you mentally.
Yeah. They get stuck near a waterfall.
Yeah, all I can think, this movie again just looks like fucking Jungle Cruise and just the backside of water. Yeah, they find the Jungle Cruise waterfall. They get stuck on a rock.
And so they got to like winch it or something. So basically Ice Cube and J-Lo and Jonathan Hyde, they go out into the water. They're going to try to make it fast and do this.
This whole time, whenever anyone goes in the water, because there's a conversation in like the first act of this movie where I forget who is talking about how there's
Professor Kale.
It's Professor Kale's talking about, there's these fish in the water that swim up your urethra and their barbs shoot, and but for 10 years, like, I've had this false memory of someone dying in this movie from one of those. I just, in my head, like, that happens in this movie, but it doesn't. It's just a weird little, it's a little flavor.
I, for one, was shocked that in a 1997 movie, they didn't explain what a urethra was, that they just trusted the audience to know.
Really?
I just feel like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like in older movies, more specific terms weren't as widely known. And so if you were going to say urethra, I would have expected Ice Cube to be like, what, your pee hole?
Oh,
something like that.
Sure, yeah.
But they just left it at urethra.
Yeah, interesting.
In any case, while they're gone, Carrie Wooer is all pissed that her evil boyfriend, got killed, and so she wants to go beat up and or kill.
She wants to go stab him, dude.
Yeah, John Voight.
John Voight is like, never look into the eyes of the person you're going to kill. They'll haunt you forever.
Trust me, I know. And now he's Russian. He is sitting,
dude. This kicks ass. It's
boat.
So cool.
He is sitting on his ass,
and he's tied
on the boat, tied up. He somehow leaps from a seated position high enough to get his legs around her neck.
Yeah.
He literally just fucking rockets himself up from his ass up to shoulder height.
He channels the power of the Anaconda. Like, it really is like some D&D spell where he's just, I invoke the power of the Anaconda, and he leaps up and fucking strangles her to death with his legs, with his fucking thighs.
Definitely lamest kill. Just fucking chokes her with his legs.
I mean, the kills in this are all pretty great. But this is it's such a cool, like, maneuver.
No, it's dumb as shit. I hope you showed the clip in this video so people can see how fucking dumb it looks.
Yeah,
just
I will.
Whoop.
And now it's snake time. There's a fucking snake, obviously. It's followed them this entire time.
Yeah.
This scene, particularly, the canned sound effects in it are...
there's a lot.
Lots of, like, melons being punched and just generic objects being slammed and shattered, and it's good. The British dude, the host, he makes his way up the side of this waterfall.
He's like, hey, come over here. Come to
the
me.
water.
And so he gets the snake to follow him up a waterfall.
Yeah, it is nice that he gets to be... He has a bit of a hero moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he's a dick, but I think he's not going to put the lives... Like, he's an asshole, but he's not as big of an asshole as to, like, I don't care if my crew dies.
He's no Owen Wilson.
He's no Owen Wilson. Yeah, for sure. Who's the real villain here?
That's me.
Yeah, so he makes his way up this waterfall, and he slips, and the snake grabs him out of midair.
Yeah, he falls, and then the snake grabs him, and that somehow alters his momentum to swing his body back up. The snake physics
in this aren't good.
Once the snake grabs you, you've got
you're
zero
in a
G
video
settings
game.
on. Yeah, you're in Gmod, and you're just fucking
Gmod
flopping
time.
around through the air.
Yeah,
It's insane.
we're turning the gravity off. It's Yeah, is this when the snake is shot in the fucking head?
Yeah, because it grabs Ice Cube as he's trying to get on the boat, and J-Lo fucking shoots him twice in the head.
Yeah, and I don't know, we both heard the same thing. This is not what the line is, but John Voight says, "You killed my wife, Snake."
Are we sure that's not the line? Because I heard, "You kill my wife, Snake."
You killed my wife, Snake.
You killed my wife, Snake.
I want to believe it's his wife, Snake.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's so mad.
Yeah,
and then
it's his wife.
And then maybe the big snake at the end was that snake's ex-husband that he took her.
That's the whole time
snake.
he's been wanting to get revenge. He never meant to kill the snake that's been following them, even though it's his bitch wife. But like the snake at the end, he's been cucked by this giant snake that he's gonna finally get his revenge on and capture in a net, and then he's gonna cuck that snake's snake wife. that we haven't seen, but maybe exists.
Oh, okay.
That's the extended universe.
You really spun that one out.
Yeah, that's the fan fiction I'm gonna write of Anaconda.
Yeah.
Oh, Kale wakes up.
Just long enough to knock out John Voight.
Yeah, I think maybe they wrote themselves into a corner and were like, shit, we need Kale to wake up and do something.
Well, what? A tree falls on the boat and fucks it up?
Yeah, I think
and when
that
happens,
wakes
we get a
him-
shot of him being like, what was that?
Oh, the doors in a tree. Like, yeah, this tree alarm clock wakes him up, and Kale just is fucking bleeding out of his neck hole.
And he knocks John Voight into the water, and then I think they even have a line where they're like, oh, you're passing out again. Just to get him back out.
Did he? So Kale, because Kale got knocked out by that bug, so he has no idea what's going on because I was thinking
he
has truly witnessed none of the
evilness.
Yeah, like none of the bad shit.
But also, if I were Cal, we picked up John Voight. He's fucking weird. They kind of butted heads.
Yeah.
Then I was out for a while, and I came to, and I got
There's
on
a
deck,
tree
and I saw them like fighting. I would immediately be like, "Oh, he's an asshole." Okay, it checks out.
Did he get to see the big snake or no? No, the snake got shot. He wouldn't have seen it. So he has no idea.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about the snake. He's also passed out for the whole final snake sequence. This guy never saw a snake this whole movie.
Yeah.
Except for the explosion of snakes, or was he out for? He was out for that too.
He missed a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's like, why is this movie called Anaconda?
Yeah, right. Why am I? What?
Why is it not called Scuba Gear Wasp?
Right.
He tranks John Voight, and he falls into the water, but then they see the dart floating there, and Ice Cube's like, damn, the dart came out his back. Ice Cube's lines in this movie.
I know. Ice Cube has the best dialogue in this.
Damn, there's a guy on a boat over there.
Oh, look at, oh, that's a snake. That's a big snake. It's just in case,
He makes it work because he's Ice Cube.
It's nice. It is nice that even though this movie doesn't have captions, it is accessible in that if you're blind, you know how movies will have the track that describes what's going on? That's what Ice Cube's doing. It's nice. Oh, the train fell out. So now we know John Voight's just in the water fucking just swimming around like a fucking snake.
Like a Anaconda.
Yeah, for sure. Also, before we leave this scene, there's a shot of the boat going past the waterfall. Waterfall's going backwards.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know why they chose to do this.
Maybe they only got a shot of it arriving at the place.
I think so. And they were like,
leaving.
we have to have it going back.
But that water goes
how
backwards.
How can it go back? It's the river. Like, you wouldn't.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Anyway, the waterfall's going backwards. It's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Now they find this building. We know just because it's pretty standard 90-minute movie. This is our third act build. This is our ending set piece building. This is where all the crazy shit's about to go
I don't even know what
down.
this building is.
I think it's the main poacher hideout.
Okay. It's a pretty big
It's a
building.
big warehouse. I don't know. It looks
it's like wooden constructed.
It looks like a sawmill. Like, I know it's... Yeah.
Maybe it's like an old-timey sawmill from when like Aguirre was fucking sailing down the Amazon to...
Dude, what were they even doing?
Dude,
I don't think that was industry.
Hopeless.
that wasn't like... I think that was just like
that was
weird religious
exploration.
stuff. That was like conquistador shit.
Hey, audience, do you want us to review Aguirre, the Wrath of God? It's not a horror movie.
I don't get... But like, it is horrifying.
It is. It's one of the most like bleak movies I've ever seen. It left me... When I saw that in high school...
speechless.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know this. I just have this existential dread after watching this movie.
It's so good. It's Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski. Just the most outrageous. Like,
I mean, it's the podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
That's true.
Whatever the fuck you want. More
it's a dope movie.
I'll throw that in
I'll
the air
think
for
about
you.
it.
Sure.
If we don't, just go watch it.
Go watch it if you want to.
It is truly one of the most
helpless.
astonishing movies. Watch it and then learn about the behind the scenes.
Oh God, that
because
makes
the
it
making
worse,
of that movie, it's like an Apocalypse Now, where like the making of it is just as interesting as the movie itself, including Werner Herzog pulling out a gun and like threatening to fucking shoot Klaus Kinski. Oh, good times. Okay.
So yeah, they get inside the structure. They're looking for fuel.
Yeah, but they find another giant snake skin. So
and then they find John Voight, who's followed them there, and he's like, "What's he say before he hits him in the hello there or something like that? Some cheesy line, and then he knocks.
Hello there.
And And then he knocks him out with his
Obi-Wan
gun.
Kenobi.
General Kenobi.
Oh, yeah, General Kenobi.
Don't get that wrong. You'll have the prequel meme subreddit all over your ass.
Oh. So John Voight ties up Ice Cube and J-Lo, and he tosses a bucket of monkey blood all over them because they're gonna be bait.
He doesn't get them all with it. I think they had the one shot with it, and he kind of misses. If you watch it, they don't get a lot of it.
Yeah. So now they're bait for the fucking snake, the anaconda that cucked him.
Yeah, and that snake comes and finds them, and it's
The final boss.
Final boss snake approaches them, and fucking John Voight Pete's dragons them.
Yeah, they
OG
have
Pete's
it's a
dragon.
big net.
He
trap.
he jumps on a rope, and then a big net pops up, and it's just like when they had to capture Invisible Elliot.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, there's a lot going on here. The snake gets John Voight, after a lot of
There's a
fucking around with his
shot
net.
from inside the snake.
This is cool.
Yeah, as it wraps
It's swallowing John Voight.
mouth around John Voight.
It's
yes.
a cool shot because it looks practical.
It does look practical.
I think it's like a fake John Voight. It's like and then it's it's cool. It's
a
like
lot
this-
of the snake is practical. I don't think it looks great. It kind of has this lifeless look to it.
It's Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, all the close-ups
I
of
don't
like
want
the snake looking
I'll
at
give
the
him more
camera.
credit than that, but it's an animatronic.
Yeah,
but it's fun.
It's fun.
I
And then the
appreciate
CG
it.
snake just looks so buck wild that it's
Yeah,
when it's twirling
but
people around.
This
and
shot
shit.
of the inside is so neat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it reminded me of in Little Shop of Horrors in the dentist scene where it's the inside of the mouth.
Yeah.
And it's all gross and slimy. So
Yeah, swallows John Voight. We even
Yeah.
see his body like finishing going into it from the outside. That's fun.
yeah, so J-Lo and Ice Cube, they kind of like head up through this building and they see like maybe an escape route through this chimney.
Yeah.
And Ice Cube is gonna blow the fucking building up because he starts dumping fuel everywhere. There's a lot of stuff. We don't need to describe exactly how it all goes down. Basically, Ice Cube's gonna blow this fucking building up.
But the important thing is when this snake vomits out John Voight.
Yeah, because remember the Anaconda is so evil and such a he just wants to cuck John Voight one more time, so he just like barfs him up. But John Voight, who is like all slimy, he looks like he's starting to be digested a little bit. He winks at J-Lo, and
Yeah.
I think that
I like how the Wikipedia article describes it as his still twitching body. It implies that he was killed. I like to believe he's still alive.
He was alive.
And with his last bit of life,
He winks.
he just trolls
It's so
J-Lo
good.
with a little
It's
wink.
So good. I think I was having such a great time, and I think the wink really sealed for me that this is
for
a
sure.
fun movie that I have an appreciation for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super slimy. Ice Cube pins that snake to the ground with a pick. There's fire. She climbs out a smokestack, a big explosion.
Yeah,
It's
the snake is on fire.
the snake is on fire. That was the moment for me.
Yeah.
Like the wink was excellent, but like
When she jumps out of the building blows up,
there's
and there's a snake
explosion
that's just
and a flaming
flying in
snake,
the air.
like
yeah.
a flaming giant snake falling into the river. I'm like, this is what I want in my stupid creature feature.
Yeah, and then the snake is looking at them while it's burning up, and Ice Cube just goes, bitch, right to its face. Does he shoot it? or
No,
does
what
he
happens
stab?
is the snake and it goes underwater, but then this is the part of the movie where the killer comes back for one last scare, and it like pops up through the dock or whatever, and that's when Ice Cube's like, bitch, and stabs it.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on at this part, but it's amazing.
And then, Eric Stoltz is still here.
Oh yeah, Kale wakes up.
He's like, what are you guys talking about?
As far as he knows, no snakes at all. We're just at this weird factory, just detour.
Yeah.
His version of this movie is hilarious.
Yeah.
He wakes up and everything is on fire. Everyone's dead. Oh man, but yeah. So happy ending. Those three are alive. I'm glad Ice Cube made it. I guess he would have had to. It was
You're not
probably in
gonna
his
kill Ice
contract.
Cube,
It's like
yeah.
it's like
LL Cool
LL Cool
J.
J and Deep Blue Sea and what else?
Halloween H2O.
Halloween
He has
H2O.
no business surviving either of those
But
movies. It's in
he's
his contract,
star power,
I'm
man.
sure.
He's gonna
Yeah.
live, which I'm glad. I feel like in any other script, if you don't have that as like, if Ice Cube isn't playing, he's like just a friend character, and he maybe died saving J-Lo.
But that if I have that kind of pull and I can direct what happens to my character, I want to live the whole movie and then have an awesome death at the
same,
end.
same,
get
same.
the most screen time you can, but still have an awesome death.
I agree.
For
I
sure.
agree. I agree.
But That's Anaconda.
Yeah.
It
And by the way, remember the very last thing is they find the tribe that they were looking for at the
right.
beginning, which is a nice. It's like a very peaceful. They see these other people, and it's a very beautiful scene, and the music is nice. But all I can think is, those snakes that you worship as gods, we lit one on fire and called it a bitch.
and shot another in the head twice.
Can we film you for our documentary?
Yeah, they're like movies back on, I guess.
Yeah, whoops.
Anaconda would have a single theatrical sequel and then a couple direct-to-video and then a crossover with Lake Placid, which I think has its own series of 6 movies. I've never seen Lake Placid. I think so, dude.
Maybe we can review Lake Placid sometime.
I've never seen that.
Because that's another infamously.
Is that a
so bad
alligator,
it's good.
crocodile? Is it one of those guys?
I forget. I've actually never seen it either.
Or is it it's not another snake, right?
I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know Lake Placid. A lot of these, like, when did Lake Placid? Yeah, like late 90s. Like, I just would not have seen
adventure
this.
horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you could definitely call.
Yeah, it's like a crocodile.
Okay. Yeah, Anaconda is an adventure horror, I would say. It's got all the hallmarks of an adventure movie, but there's a giant killer snake running around.
Yeah.
Kind of like Jurassic Park, These creature features, that's what they can tend to be.
It's weird because I think if you asked me if I was a fan of creature features, my gut instinct would be like, no, they're not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a good one, I love. Because most of the time I just find them so unbelievable and like it's hard for me to buy into them.
Yeah, and to me a animal monster is less interesting.
Yeah, because an animal, you're not gonna have the nuance of it being a human
or having like a drive and motivation. Yeah.
There's also like something to the idea of like nature taking revenge on man. Like that's a cool aspect to them, but
I guess Tremors could maybe also go into this category.
Yeah.
And I really like
Crawl
Tremors.
was great.
Crawl was very good, yeah.
But among horror subgenres, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But this movie's so fun. If you just want something stupid.
And it's so short.
It's so short. This is I watched the last time I watched this was at a sleepover with some girlfriends. So if you want if you're having a slumber party and you want something stupid to put on, this is such a good choice.
Yeah.
Very, very good choice. I'm glad I picked this one.
And let us know if there are other creature features that we should check out.
Yeah,
if they're fun like this.
There's some like actually really good ones that maybe we've missed or. Because, yeah, I typically... I mean, Jaws is a creature feature.
Yeah. Jaws is singular, though.
Yeah, it's its own genre.
We've got... I don't know. We're working on a whole bunch of shit right now.
Yeah,
Seems like a lot of things are going on.
I'm in the middle of booking some really cool guests, and I can't say yet who they are. Like, none of them are, like, solid yet, but I'm, like, working out dates and topics with people. And so we've got some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Coming down the pipeline.
And I might have a whole nother season's worth of guests of what's your favorite scary movie coming up, possibly.
Nice.
Yep. That's fun.
I'm going to... So last summer, we did the Paranormal Pool Party.
Yeah.
As like our summer series. And even though we don't really have a reason to do that, because the reason we did that was we were so busy during the summer that just having a bunch of things we could record in a row... It just made my schedule a lot easier. But I almost want to do that again with another series.
Oh.
So if there is a series, if you'd be into that let me know. I was thinking like Jaws could be cool.
I've covered those all in the kill counts. I've spent enough time with that.
It hasn't been long enough.
I'm good on Jaws.
But something like, where it's a series that we could do that would be like interesting enough to... where I don't go insane.
So not Lake Placid.
Yeah,
assuming all the
Lake
Placid sequels are not going to withstand.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out. I don't know. I'm not like married to that idea, but I don't know. Could be fun. Yeah. I liked Paranormal Pool Party a lot.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Go ahead and follow Dead Meat on social media at Dead Meat James on Twitter and Instagram.
I'm at Carebeck, CareBecc on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want merch, deadmeatstore.com. I got golden chainsaws back in stock, so those are there.
Super cool.
Yep.
Email deadmeatpod@gmail.com with any feedback or suggestions or what have you. And until next time, I'm James.
I'm Chelsea.
And this has been the Dead Meat Podcast.